Chapter 12. Hannah. It's been several days since the first attempt on my life, and Key and James have practically moved into my apartment. I can't do anything without them being there. At first, it was nice knowing that they were around, but it didn't take long for it to become annoying. I'm not trying to make their job harder. I can't wrap my head around having people care for me. I've had to fend for myself for most of my life, and now these two people tell me that what I can and can't do. It's weird, and it's taken me a while to get used to it. What's the schedule for today? James's voice snaps me out of annoyance and brings me back to reality. Work as usual, and then I'll sit here at home in the evening like I always do. Nothing like explaining that you have nothing to do to your bodyguards to make you feel lame. James nods and uses his phone to text the schedule to Key, sitting in a car outside the apartment building. Oh, I also have an appointment with my realtor tomorrow to sign the paperwork for the new house. It's at her office at 3. I'll start moving in the next week or two. James makes a note and starts typing on his phone again. It would be good for you to move to a new location. It might deter them or make it harder for them to find you, James says without glancing up. He's such a downer, always so serious and stern. Great, I say dryly, walking out of the kitchen to the living room where my shoes and bag await me. It's nice to leave my apartment and feel like there's still some normalcy. I never thought the chaos of the ER would feel like home, but right now, it's the only thing keeping me grounded. We're ready to move, James says from behind me, letting Key know we're heading to the car. James leaves the apartment first and checks the hallway. After he gives me the all clear, I lock the door behind me. My love for my apartment has faded since the whole thing started, and I worry I'll carry that to my new space. I don't want to move into a new home and have it dampened by the shit my father's case has brought down on me. I want my house to be a safe place where I can relax and not worry about someone trying to kill me. I stop at the top of the stairwell as James goes ahead of me one flight at a time to ensure it's safe. We move slowly down the stairs, popping out of the apartment complex in the side alley. Are you excited for work? Key asks as I climb into the dark SUV. I could not be more excited to get to work, I say earnestly. At least at the hospital I have more freedom and time away from James and Key, even though we all know the hospital isn't the safest place. Still, between them and the security guards we already have, they agree to loosen the reins and let me have some time away from them. I know they're still there, but they aren't hovering over me constantly. A short car ride later, we're at the hospital in the underground lot. We park it in a different spot every day. James says it's so we don't develop a pattern that someone can use to plan an attack, which makes sense. Cassie greets me at the door. Hannah, man, am I glad you're working today. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. She wraps me in a hug and walks with me to our lockers. So, how's everything going? I'm tired of always having them in the apartment, but it's going well. No one's tried anything, right? Nope, it's fine. Good. Let's hope it stays that way. Are you excited about the house signing tomorrow? Yes, I can't wait. I'm a little nervous, though. It's been such a struggle with the sellers. I'm worried they'll try something again before I can sign the documents. I'm sure it'll be fine. Leaving the lockers, Cassie and I go to the ER floor and do our daily routines and checks. In the back of my mind, I know I shouldn't, but I can't help but be relieved that the ER is busy today. It keeps my mind off of everything and allows me to focus on work, not the house or the fact that my life is in danger. I can't constantly focus on that. If I do, I'll be too scared to function. As my shift goes on, nothing seems out of the ordinary. People come in, we treat them, and they're moved out. Nothing too serious tonight either, which is excellent. Just busy enough to keep us all on our toes. Before I know it, it's almost the end of my shift and I can feel the fatigue settling in. Dr. Winters, we need you over here. A shout from across the floor brings me to attention and I hurry over to where a young man is lying on the gurney. He's covered in blood, but there aren't any visible wounds. I've done the initial examination and can't determine where the blood is coming from. It's okay, Dr. Reeves, let's slow down, look together and see what we can find. I check the young man. He's conscious but doesn't seem to be all there. His eyes are oddly vacant, but other than that, he seems unaffected by what's happening around him. Has the patient said anything? Dr. Reeves and I start to go over the man's body, examining all of his limbs slowly, turning them, and searching for the source of blood. Dr. Reeves, can I talk to you over there, please? I nod in the general direction, taking us away from the patient. I'd like for you to call the police. Now, I don't think this is his blood, which means it belongs to someone else, and that person has lost a lot of blood by the looks of it. I turn back to the patient, giving him a reassuring smile. All right, Mr. Scheckler. I glance at his chart for his name, check his vitals, and verify with the nurses that nothing seems amiss. He's perfectly healthy as far as I can tell. How are you feeling? He doesn't respond. Dr. Winters. I turn towards a nurse as she calls out for me to assist with another patient, and in that split second, the man on the bed goes from supine and dazed to alert. He somehow has a knife in his hand. Where it came from, I don't know, but before anyone can react, he launches himself in my direction with the blade striking out. Dr. Winters! I hear Key shout from somewhere behind me as I clumsily throw myself backward. I raise my hands, hoping to block whatever blow the man may land. I fall hard on the tile floor of the ER and slide myself back as the man advances on me. Before my eyes, like out of a movie, Key is there, slamming into the man's side and sending them careening to the floor. The knife skitters away, the sound echoing as if it were in an empty chamber. Key restrains the man, pulling his arms behind his back as James secures the knives. Does anyone have something I can use to tie his hands? Key shouts. Cassie is there with some tubing in a second, and Key deftly secures the man. He doesn't put up much of a struggle, which surprises me. I can't wrap my mind around what's happening as I sit on the floor where I fell. A hand around my upper arm brings me back. All right? Why? What? Are you all right? James asks again, louder. Yes, I'm fine, I say, inspecting myself. Let's get you up and out of here in case there are more of them. More of them? Wait. Do you think this has to do with my father's case? I'm not sure, but it could be related. We should treat it as if it was. James helps me up and keeps a hand on my lower back to steady me as I rock back, unsteady on my feet. Are you sure you're all right? He asks again. Yeah, I'm just a little surprised is all. I'm really fine, I promise. The hospital security has taken over watching the man. Cassie follows Key over to where James and I are standing. You okay? She asks, scrutinizing me from head to toe. I nod, not taking my eyes off the man on the floor. His eyes still have that dazed, vacant stare. Let's get out of here. Cassie, can you give a statement to the police and help us and keep us updated on what happens? Key looks to Cassie, who nods in response. James moves to my left side. Key takes up the station on the right, and we move down the hall. I can't believe this happened at work, I mutter, still unable to fully understand what's happening. That's what we've been telling you, Hannah. It can happen anywhere, and anyone can carry out an attack. Key puts a reassuring hand on my shoulder, and I feel a tiny bit of tension leave my body. I'm glad you guys were here. It's the first time I've said that to them since they started keeping watch over me. Thank you both so much. I lean into Key a little as they guide me to the locker room.